Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Eden. Happy birthday to you. So, I decided this year to make you a video because I think you made me one last year, except for it was insane and of you guys singing, and it was kind of crazy. But I loved it. I decided to make you a video of all the reasons why I love you and why you're such an amazing friend and why you deserve to be specially celebrated on this special day of Halloween. So, numero uno, which I think is kind of pretty obvious, is the fact that we've been best friends since literally the day you were born. Like, our parents were friends beforehand, so it was like a match made in heaven. Like, quite honestly. I when I was kind of thinking about this video, I came up with like a bunch of memories. And what's interesting is like a lot of the memories are like in our younger years and then like in our older years and like honestly, I'm not quite sure what happened in between. But so one of my first memories, or I don't know if it was first, I don't actually know how old we were at all. But I remember sitting in your room and you were like, let's cut our Barbie's hair. And I was like, yes. So we took out like a shit ton of your Barbies and we started like chopping their hair and we had like this garbage can full of Barbie hair. And then your mom comes in like 30 minutes into it and she like knocks on the door and you're like, no, 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 don't come in. And she's like, what's wrong? And we're like, ah. So we like stuff all the Barbies under the bed and like try to hide the garbage can and she like comes into the room and she's like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, nothing. And she's like, no, really. And she like saw some hair on the floor and she's like, what's the hair doing on the floor? And then I don't know how it came out, but our punishment was we had to hang up the laundry, and that felt like terrible punishment. So that was one memory. Yeah. um Another thing was, so dressing up in kindergarten. I remember we did a lot of that. We did a lot of plays, Cinderella with Rafi as the bear, as that's kind of like the obvious story. But another thing I remember about kindergarten, which I'm not sure, I don't know if you remember it, but I remember there used to be Gaga was really popular, and like all the boys would play it, and there was like a Gaga like field, I don't know what they call them. And we were like, ooh, we can play Gaga because the like older boys wouldn't let us. So we thought that the game was so funny because it had such a funny name. So we would run around screaming like Gaga, goo goo, and like pretend to be babies and be like, ha, we're playing Gaga, like fuck you. So yeah, that just came into my mind and I thought it was weird, but yeah, that happened. Yeah, on the same lines as kindergarten. Remember the kindergarten club? And there was the guy, like Mr. Ball or Mr. Blueberry or something, and he would like wear a ball in his stomach. We'd play like Duck Duck Goose, and I remember playing that game with the chickens. What's it called? I don't want to be a chicken. I don't want to be a duck. I remember doing that a lot. And we used to kind of always have these fights at like recess in kindergarten because you would be like, "Oh, I want to play with other people," and I'd be like, "I just want to play with you." And so we'd spend like the entire recess like fighting about who we were gonna play with for recess. So that was good. And then skipping ahead like a good 10 years, um, to our Hebrew play, our Glee Hebrew play, which was genius, let me just say. But I remember like writing that script and like doing all this stuff to, amp up Glee and like morphing together all the stories, and then Mr. Bogad had to come in cuz like it was too inappropriate cuz we had like teachers having sex in a Hebrew play, like what? So we'd take that out and we would like try to like morph in all of our little things from the Pesach one where we were like, F you! There was like the, what was it? It was like, F you! Yeah, I'm not remembering it now. But yeah, that was great. Also, along the same lines of like acting and stuff, We had the Potter Puppet Pals, which transcended for years and is still an obsession. But remember when it was like a major obsession? Like we would watch every single Potter Puppet Pal, and like we performed it everywhere. Like there was a camping trip, and we performed it there, and then we did like Charlie the Unicorn. Like I found the magical Leopleurodon. It'll help us find the way to Candy Mountain, Charlie. Yeah, that was good. Also, oh, remember prank calling you know who? Yeah, that was a terrifying experience. Let's hope she doesn't see this. Also, that reminded me, for some reason, reminded me of when we, like, thought we were all badass and snuck over to Sam's house to, like, get his dad's pants or something. And we, like, traipsed through Campbell, and you were, like, terrified, and we were like, it's just Campbell. And that was funny. Also, okay, this is getting excessive. So my last one will be really good one. My last one is, remember when we got to chill at Lee Unkrich's house? You know, the director of Toy Story 3 in his movie theater with his disco ball. That was good. So, obviously, we have quite a lot of memories, and that is one of the reasons why you're so special to me. But you're also so special, like, just as a friend and as a person, and I'm just so amazed by the things you do. You're talented beyond belief. I remember when you were in, what was that, the one where there were, like, the mattresses, not Once Upon a Mattress. And you, like, were the opening singer, and you came onto the stage, and it was, like, just you. Maybe there was someone else. I'm pretty sure it was just you. And I remember sitting in the audience being like, shit, that's Eden. Like, that's my friend. Like, she's mine, and she's this amazing. And that was, like, what, 4 or 5 years ago? Like, you've gotten so much more amazing since then. Like, you are so talented, and you are so driven, like, as an actress, as a singer, as a writer, and I know you're gonna go so far. Like, if that's where you decide to go, or if you decide to do something completely different, like, as a debater, like, I never ever won an argument against you, which was so frustrating, but impressive. Like, you're able to win everything, so that's amazing. And yeah, I'm just impressed by you. But you're not just impressive, like, you're so encouraging, and I remember, like, you were the person who told me, like, you should start singing, like, you're actually good. And I remember I was at your house, and we were doing that. There was some website where you, like, record your singing, and, like, I don't know, they still email me sometimes, I'm not sure why. But Stage Agent. And you and your mom were, like, listening to me sing, and, like, your mom was like, you should look into singing, and you were like, yeah, you should, and, like, it was, like, that moment that kind of, like, turned me around to being like, yeah, that's not a thing I do, to now that's, like, kind of something I love more than anything. So you really kind of hit me off there, and you've been such an encouragement ever since. I actually wrote about you in one of my college essays. I didn't end up using it, but I wrote a whole essay about it when we did the South Bay Teen Idol, and, like, I didn't get in, and you did amazingly, 2 years in a row. But how I was really bummed that I didn't get in, and you gave me a call, and you pretty much told me, like, you can't win everything, and how, like, judges are objective, and that you have to kind of fall down and fail every once in a while, because that's kind of the way life is, and you can't expect to just win everything, because it doesn't work that way. And that was so foundational to my experience. And, like, I still like, beat myself up over, failing, like, who doesn't? But every time I do, I think of that conversation I had with you on the phone, and just kind of appreciate that insight and really internalize it. And that means a lot to me. And, like, just as in terms of being a support, like, I have been to so many children's musicals theater shows, so many PYT shows and Westmont shows, and, like, and like I'm your number one supporter, and like now that I'm doing it, like you're my like supporter, and you've like been to so many of my shows, and like I just love that we have that kind of connection there. That really means a lot to me. And I mean also I just am so comfortable around you. It's kind of amazing how after all these years, like even if we don't talk a lot, like between the times I see you, we don't like, we don't text that much, whatever, like whenever we get together, it's like it's back to normal. It's so natural and it's so easy and just kind of like the laughs flow and like I don't know, the stories just bubble out of us. And it's lovely and you really listen and like when we were at Tamara's house like 2 weekends ago or whatever, and like Tamara and Rachel were like going insane and I was like trying to tell a story and you were like, I'm listening. I'm like, thank you. But yeah, like you're just awesome in that way. But yeah, so basically, I love you. Basically, you're my best friend. Basically, we're gonna be best friends forever. Basically, you're like incredible and should have the most specialist, loveliest, magnificentest birthday ever because you deserve it. And basically, I should shut up because this video is more than 11 minutes long. Whoops. So, I love you very, very much, Eden, my dearest Edie Boo. And happy birthday! You are 17, girl! Mwah! Love you.